Hello, everyone. Welcome back to my channel. Today in this episode, we are going to discuss Christopher Columbus and the natives once again. Yep, another episode. The Taino people in particular. Oh, how much fun we will have examining a deeper insight into these people's lives and their history. How pleasant it is to hear these types of motherfucking things. Oh, people in history are labeled as shit. They're labeled as motherfuckers. Fuck you, you fucking bitch. You motherfuckers. What the fuck happened? The mainstream sure knows how, and they'll tell you how. Then all you little program bitches just follow the fucking lead. You're all fucking cowards, afraid to do research, afraid to break away from the fucking narrative. Only some people's crimes are justified. BLM and Antifa destroyed so much in the very last few years and ruined lives and destroyed businesses in hopes to make things better, but made things fucking worse. Those fucking cunts want destruction, yeah? They want control. Control of you and all the power. That's right. The Muslims stole women and kept them locked up in rooms, made them wear fucking sheets on their head, and trained them to believe that it's some fucking weird type of freedom. You're all fucked, you dumb motherfuckers. Islam invaded many parts of Europe and Africa. They're still good guys. Oh, they're such nice people. Enslaved people before America. Oh yeah, Europe did too. But so did they, bitch. You forgot about them. Oh, they ain't white. Fuck you, you stupid bitch. These motherfuckers traded people, sold people, gifted people, and gave people as a tax payment at times. But somehow you stupid bitches give them a pass. And only straight white Christian males are the problem, right? And Christopher Columbus was the root of the reasoning that they claim. You fucking bitches. Every motherfucking YouTube fucking channel, Spotify, fucking podcast, they say pretty much the same motherfucking shit, man. It's like, how do you motherfuckers not research anything? How is this fucking, gotta just keep going? Are you all that fucking brain dead? You can't look shit up? You can fucking believe anything you fucking see or read, huh? Is that how it goes? No, we don't get it from the first source. We get it from the second. No, not the second. We get the third source. Not from the horse's mouth, but the guy that rode the horse. We're talking about the guy that heard from him. Yeah, but in a subjective way, right? And we call that objective, right? We call that the fucking fact. You stupid bitch. That ain't how it works. Is it? Is this how it's supposed to work? Huh? Your fucking feelings write history, you little bitch? Oh, yeah, that's right. Your fucking feelings write fucking math problems too, right? I know I heard some fucking weird shit that 2 and 2 doesn't add up to 5. Or some weird shit they're doing now. Guys ain't really guys, and guys could be girls, could get pregnant and shit. Like, there's a whole bunch of weird stuff. They want chaos. But anyways, it all stems back to this fucking Christopher Columbus guy, right? Christopher Columbus. Columbo. Yeah. So let's get into this fucking boring shit. Let's look into another boring but interesting time in history that I myself questioned. Okay? Ooh, you questioned it, huh? Must be something. Yeah, well, sometimes memoirs aren't very specific, and sometimes they leave out shit, and it's just like, why? I mean, they label one thing, and then they just move on like it ain't nothing, but sometimes I'm like, well, what else happened? I mean, here's my reasoning. For this, okay? Let's look at this boring time in history, right? And let's start with the concise backstory that leads up to this small questionable moment in time. We can break this up in a couple episodes for the sake of analyzing different sources, okay? Because I kind of want to get a couple different things going, but like Just got to push myself, you know. You bitches ain't helping out, no? No, you ain't. You ain't, bitches. You ain't helping at all. Okay? Okay, here we go. So let's pull some of this information from Columbus's son again, okay? Senior or Junior Columbus, right? The junior. On Wednesday, April 9th, 1494, the Christians took the few Taino prisoners, remember? Including the native who had his ear cut off. And they were sent to Christopher Columbus. It wasn't very specific how long these motherfuckers kept these guys, and then sent them to Columbus to receive these men, and then set them up for an execution, and then let them go free, right? Did that all happen in a fucking single day or in a few hours, or was it a week? It's just like, man, it happened. It's just like, okay, did it all happen in an hour? Like, cut off his ear and send him. No, I think it took some time, but how they wrote it, it seems like it was like within minutes. Well, we have to search other documents to see what happened with those, and within those 2 weeks after that moment, you know, that's when he set them free. He set those natives free, and then the guy on horseback came and alerted them that 5 of the other Christians were stolen or hostage, right, or captured. And then so they went back with 400 men to retrieve these dudes in that Tomas fucking territory. And so they did. And then they showed up with these horses and scared off the natives. So that's what they say, right? That's what they say. So the story goes. So anyways, Columbus left the island, left Hispaniola on Thursday, April 24th, to venture towards Cuba. And there was this 2 weeks in between when the Christians were assaulted, resulting in retaliation, and then finally the people leaving the island. And of course, Columbus left some of his people there. But in the meantime, it's like, what happened in between that time? Because, like, you know, it's just like, did they just walk away? We're like, okay. But Columbus left some of his men on the island. His brother Don Diego Colon would be the president. And then Father Buell and Pedro Hernandez Coronel, and these guys were left as regents. Then Alfonso Sanchez de Carvajal, and then this other dude named Juan de Lujan, who was some gentleman from Madrid, who was a servant to the Catholic sovereigns, right? He left these guys there. Columbus worked really hard to finish the mills in the area so that the people that he left there could have some flour to make some bread and shit, right? He didn't want to leave the island without resources for the people. Good thing he didn't say, do it yourself, bitches. I'll be back. Maybe. Make yourself enough food to eat so you don't die, you fucking cunts. Huh? You think that's how he talked to him? Anyways, Columbus made these mills for flour. Those dudes love bread and wine, if you remember their episodes. They might have been eating empanadas back then too. You know, that you need flour to make that shit as well, don't you? Empanadas are from Spain and Portugal, from those areas. Possibly the oldest record of empanada is in Spain that dates back to the 1520s in Catalan, right? Empanadas are a Portuguese and Spanish food, so these motherfuckers were of that area. They could have brought the fucking empanadas. Now it's an Argentinian thing, and some other regions have it as well, you know. But just because empanada was written in a cookbook in the 1520s, 3 decades after Columbus came to America, it doesn't mean that it wasn't cooked before that. So Columbus could have made that shit. He could have taken some of the fucking spiders from the Taino, or some of the fucking neck stew, right? Could have taken some neck and put it in fucking empanadas. Hey, this empanada's good. What is it? It's neck. Fuck, man. What? What kind of neck? Oh, some dude we captured and killed. Oh, okay. But anyways, besides that, I'm sure that the Europeans had some kind of imagination to cook some fucking weird shit up, right? And weren't just eating in one hand fish and empanada in other hand and vegetables in other hands, right? Either way, Columbus made sure these motherfuckers were somewhat established before Columbus and his crew took off back to Cuba. Cuba. All right? It's like, eat up, bitches. It was written in this chapter that this section that Columbus had settled matters in Hispaniola before taking off to more explorations to Cuba. And after retrieving his captured men that were on the way to Santo Tomas, the descriptions end with the Europeans getting, the Taino getting scared away by the Europeans at the sight of the European horses. Some 500 motherfucking natives ran away. 500. They brought some horses and scared away 500 Indians. Okay. Yeah, right. That's what they say. And they wounded 2 natives as the Spaniards were chasing these guys away. They wounded 2 of them. That's what they wrote. How the fuck would they write that? Why would they write they chased away 500? How come we could believe this number and not other numbers, right? We could believe other numbers they wrote, can't we? Which is not this one? Or should we believe this one, not the others? And then they killed 2 of the guys, or wounded 2 of the guys. Not killed, wounded. Doesn't say much more than that. Why didn't he say that they killed 50 and enslaved another 50 of these motherfuckers, huh? Then cut off their hands and so on and so forth, huh? Why not? Because it didn't happen probably. They're writing shit down. They're somewhat specific. Why would they be this kind of specific? What if they killed like 10 guys or captured 10 guys? He's like, don't write that down. Write down only 2 because that's our quota, man. You know, that don't make sense. So it's a possibility. After they fucking came back to retrieve their men, the Christians, they chased away 500 natives, wounding 2 of them. That's what we got. And I kind of believe it. I believe it because of the weird specifics, right? The only specific thing from that moment of time is that they scared them all away and wounded 2 of them. So that was it. And then they went on with their day. They were like, okay, so that was it. So that's why I'm questioning it. Because all this shit happened. If you remember the last episode, the ears getting cut off, dudes getting executed, but they didn't get executed. They got let free. Then they found out the Canabo area people captured some people. They got them back. And then they went on with their day. Built some fucking mills. Got some flour going. And they're like, okay, let's go on. There must have been more, I would assume. Maybe not. Maybe back in those days, like, you know, like they say presentism. Maybe back in those days, they seen shit like that. They were like, just another battle. Just some more blood spilled. And more people dead. That's normal life. Pass me the butter. Okay. Canabo was the chief of that area. Pulling from Bartolome de las Casas, pulling some information from his writings. He says that Canabo was the chief of the kingdom called Macuana. Maquana. That's how he wrote it. Macuana. That's how probably he heard it. Macuana. Canabo was the king of that area. And these were the people. And so Bartolome de las Casas wrote about this shit. He said it was a country very fertile, where the best sugar of the island is made. And some later things happened to this chief, but I guess we'll talk about that later, another time. But anyways, Las Casas concludes his description of Hispaniola by saying this. Check this out. Check this out, motherfuckers. Okay. Now remember, Bartolome de las Casas is the guy a lot of people refer to as Columbus and the Europeans coming and fucking doing some bad shit to the natives, right? So we got to keep that in mind. So he was like the journalist of pain, right? He brought up all this shit, right? He brought up all this stuff. And so a lot of people refer to Bartolome de las Casas' writings. So if Bartolome de las Casas is the guy we refer to as how bad Columbus was and the Europeans were to the natives, we have to consider this one little passage in his fucking writings, okay? After he describes all the different regions in Hispaniola. And he described Canabo and all that shit. Anyways, let's get to the conclusion of all this, right? He says here, quote, "Now it is here." Now, how does a Spanish accent? "Now it is here to be noted that the desolation of these islands and the provinces happened after the death of Queen Isabel, who deceased in the year 1504. For before that time, few of the provinces were entrenched upon by any unjust war, or overflowed with this dulge of devastation. Or if anything was before that time done, it was concealed." Listen to that. Did you hear that? "Be noted that the desolation of these islands and the provinces happened after the death of Queen Isabella, who deceased in the year 1504. So Columbus came to America in 1492. Are you telling me 12 years? Nothing happened? Fucking Las Casas can't write anything about it? He's saying all this shit happened after Isabella died, for the most part? Is that what he's saying? And at that time, Columbus was already out of the picture. He was already arrested and came back and left and came back and all that. All this shit happened in that amount of time. Is that what you're saying? Is that what this is fucking saying? So is that it? Can I end my Christopher Columbus research now that you cunts have written evidence that Columbus wasn't causing a genocide while he was in America? Is that what the fuck we just learned, you bitches? Why didn't that dumbass Howard Zinn read that or write that passage? Quote that fucking part. Oh, because it isn't self-hating Americans, right? You can't topple statues if you learn this shit. Don't show this to BLM or Antifa. Don't tell your leftist friends about this. It'll make them feel bad, and nobody wants to do that. Oh, wait, there's a little bit more writing here. Hold on here. So this guy says here, in 1504, before that time, a few provinces were entrenched upon by any unjust war or overflowed with this dulge of devastation. Or if there was anything was before that time, before 1504, it was concealed from the knowledge of the queen. She was always zealous and solicitous for the safety and prosperity of these poor people. And this may be also a general rule that the Spaniards, to whatever part of the Indies they did come to, after that time ceased, not to exercise their abdominal slaughters, tyrannies, and execrable oppressions upon the poor people, and being delighted with new kinds of torments, daily increased their cruelty and rage. So he's saying, after 1504, shit started to get crazy. And I believe that it did happen a little bit before that. But we're going to get into that. But we're just trying to look at Columbus since we're all taking down his statues, right? Okay, so maybe Columbus was doing this stuff, but not writing about it. How would you or anyone else know? We have to keep digging, you bitches. Yeah, you sat up straight and proud, and now I just busted your crown off your fucking facade. Yeah. You hate me, and that's great. Join the fucking club. Anyways, we're gonna look into that shit. I just wanted to see what he did for those 2 weeks. And so I looked into the area and seen what Bartolome de las Casas talked about. I got some more shit to go over, some different memoirs and writings, but that's going to fill too much time. So I don't want to put it into this episode. We're going to break it into another episode, like I mentioned already. Yeah. Hear the fucking birds out there? Yeah. So stay tuned for the next episode. Share this with your enemies, and they'll hate you for it. This is a history channel where we go over history books, historical documents, birth certificates, death certificates, wars, fucking all this different empirical data. And if you don't like it, memoirs, journals, diaries, whatever we can. Some history books to find networking and criticize. Anyways, if you don't like it, go fuck yourself. Don't subscribe. Send this to your fucking enemies. Adios.